for watching. So today I'm going to be talking about how I lost 40 pounds in 6 months with basically no dieting at all. And I posted a before and after picture on my Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, like every social media account that I have yesterday, and asked you guys to ask me some questions for this video. I did not think that it would get such a the large response that it did, but I ended up getting over 100 questions, and a lot of them were just amazing questions, but most of them were kind of repetitive, and so I figured out like the bulk of the questions, and that's what I'm going to be answering today, is just 4 main sections that you guys were really wondering about. And the other questions I will get to, I just think a lot of them are very, the response is going to be a lot more elaborate than, you know, doing like a 6-hour Q&A response video. That's probably how long it would take me. So I'm going to be doing separate videos on all those, so as long as you're subscribed to my channel, you'll be able to see all those in the future. So if you would like to know how I lost 40 pounds in 6 months, please keep watching. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is food and what I ate and what I eat now to maintain a healthy diet and a healthy lifestyle, and obviously lose and maintain my weight. So if you don't know and you don't follow me and you're kind of new, I follow a whole foods plant-based diet, and in my journey being vegan, the number one thing that I struggled with was finding like a balance and how I could stick to something that was healthy and still lose weight and not have to cut out entire macronutrient profiles, like have to cut out, you know, all the fat in my diet or all the protein or all the carbohydrates. So what I found is that if you stick to eating whole foods, like in their whole state, the most unrefined, you know, state that you can get them in, like eating apples, oranges, fruits in their whole forms, smoothies, salads, potatoes, brown rice, whole grains like that, and as well as fats like avocado, coconut, hemp seeds, tahini, things like that, you are going to succeed on a plant-based lifestyle. Like, you cannot screw up eating whole foods on a plant-based lifestyle. It is just really impossible, and the reason why is because you're getting everything that you need. So when you're eating processed foods, I know like a lot of people want to say that they're following a specific lifestyle. Like I did this as well, eating, you know, only starches or only fruit or very, very low fat. You're missing out on a lot of what the natural food would be providing your body. So it's a lot less satiating. So if you're eating white refined rice, you're missing out on like the fiber, the minerals, the fats that are in whole grain brown rice. And it's going to leave you feeling hungrier and more, you know, like out of balance. So you're going to have to compensate for that somewhere else in your diet. And my number one tip for everyone, all times, is to just eat whole plant foods, because you can't go wrong. I know personally, like eating white rice or brown rice, I can eat 5 times the amount of white rice, because to me it digests so quickly. It has such a higher glycemic index. It doesn't have all the fiber and the fats that make it more filling, and it metabolizes in your body so differently, and it reacts in your body so differently. So eat whole plant foods. That is my number one tip. It's always going to be my number one tip, and you really can't go wrong. Someone else asked me if I include salt in my diet, and I do. And the reason for that is because I've tried the really, really low salt, low sodium diets, and they don't satisfy me as much. Like the food isn't as good tasting. And I know people are going to say like that's just like an addiction, or you get used to that. But to me, I've always been a more savory type of foods person. So like sweets weren't always my thing. So when I first went like 80-10-10 or, you know, raw vegan, and I tried eating a ton of fruit and like no salt and no fat, it was so unsatisfying to me, and I could not stick with it, and I would end up going off of it and just trying so hard to stick with something that was so unsatisfying to me. So it's so important, and I stress this in my ebook, and I stress it in, you know, everything that I say, to eat whole foods, cook everything from scratch. You can pretty much eat anything that you want to on a whole foods plant-based diet. You just have to find alternatives, like using dates instead of processed sugar, using avocados or hemp seeds or flax seeds instead of oils, or, you know, sauteing things in water and instead of oil, and just using alternatives that are so much healthier but just as satisfying, and the food is just as good. So if you have my ebook, you know that like all of my recipes are from scratch. Everything is made from whole plant foods. It's the only thing that I personally believe that you need to stick to be successful on a vegan diet or a plant-based diet. So the next thing that people ask me literally every single day is, how many calories do you eat in a day? And if you've watched my channel, you know that I stress beyond belief not counting calories and listening to your body and eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full. But I get this question so much that I decided that I'm just gonna start tracking my calories a little bit and figuring out, you know, how many I eat every day. So my net calories on average come out to 1,800 calories a day. So people might think that's low, people might think that's high. It really depends on your perspective of it, but that is how I feel fulfilled and how many calories I feel like my body needs. And it doesn't matter, you know, if I'm counting calories or I'm not counting calories. Every day to day is kind of different. So every day is not going to be the same for you calorie-wise, because, you know, you have different activities every day. Your mood's different, your stress level's different, the foods that you eat every day are different. Maybe you're like exercising, or you're just really busy. Some days when I have nothing going on and it's Sunday, like today, I'm not exercising because it's crappy outside, I eat like 1,600 calories. And then there's days when, like yesterday, I rode my bike 20K and I ate like 2,500 calories. But when you think about net calories, the thing is that it all balances out. So 1,600 calories one day with absolutely no activity because I just wasn't very hungry, because I wasn't, you know, revving up my metabolism and my hunger drive with exercise. And then the next day, eating 2,500 calories, but also burning 600 or 700 when I was on the bike. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing if you're, you know, people say like, oh, you're under eating, you're starving yourself, you're eating less calories than your body needs, and that's why you're losing weight. It's the same thing if you go out and you bike, you know, 20 kilometers a day or 40 kilometers every other day, or do an excessive amount of exercise and you're eating 3,000 calories every day, but you're burning 1,000, or you're burning, you know, 500 and you're eating 2,500. Like, it's the same net that you're coming out with. So don't really focus on how much it is day to day. Robert Cheek, Derek just went to one of his seminars and he said that you should count calories for the first 2 weeks when you start a plant-based diet. After that, you know, just to get a feel of it, because you can eat so much more on a plant-based diet because of the density and the foods are a lot lower calorie. So it's kind of hard to gauge if you come from a standard American diet. He was saying that I think is really good advice, and that's why I'm saying this right now, is that you should count for the first 2 weeks and just to get a feel of how many calories are in a certain portion or how much food, so you can, when you sit down to eat, you're not, you know, taking these tiny little portions and trying to get full off of them. You actually know how much visually you should be eating. And then after that, just go by your hunger drive and how you feel, because it's not the fact that people try to count calories their entire life, it drives you absolutely insane, and it can ruin your progress, it can ruin your chances of success on a diet, because you want to do something that feels natural and feels long-term that you can do for the rest of your life. So don't count calories, okay? All right, the third thing that I get asked all the time is, how much exercise do I do? So the first 4 months of me kind of changing my lifestyle and changing, you know, going to stopping smashing in calories and trying to eat super low fat and trying to lose weight that way and be healthy, which ended up me gaining 40 pounds. When I started listening to my body and just doing, you know what, I'm going to eat more fats, I'm going to eat more whole foods, I'm going to stop, you know, eating like the refined stuff just because it's lower in fat, and I'm just going to start doing what feels good and feels right for me. That was back at the end of the summer, or, you know, the beginning of fall last year. So when I started doing that, it was starting to get cold out. I had really just overdone it on exercise. Previously to that, I was riding my bike like 100 miles a week, but I was also eating 3,000 calories a day. And it's funny because I tell people all the time, like, I used to exercise a lot, and people were saying like, well, you never exercised, you weren't fit enough, like that's why you didn't lose weight, eating, you know, smashing in the calories. And it's like, I did though, I exercised a lot, and I just could not lose weight. I kept gaining. So the first 4 months of me changing my lifestyle and doing what it felt was right for me, I did not exercise at all. I did nothing. And the only thing that I actually like really did was walking my dog. So 4 months in, I did absolutely nothing. At that point, I had lost 25 pounds, and then after that, I had started doing small things. So I'm like, okay, it's winter. I really want to like just start building, you know, my fitness and my health back up. I'm over, you know, the obsessive exercising that I did. Like, I feel like I'm ready to get back into it. So I started doing small things. I don't have a gym membership. I don't want to pay for something like that. And I just really don't like places like that because it's such a chore going there. So I started doing 100 squats a day at home, doing just like some sit-ups and calisthenic type stuff for maybe like 5 minutes a day. And also like 10 or 15 minutes of yoga just to like really calm myself and center myself for the day. It was just like a morning practice that I did. It wasn't really, you know, to get like super fit or anything. It was just something that I really enjoyed. Now, fast forward, I am starting to cycle a lot more. It's becoming, you know, summer outside and it's nice out, so I'm like jazzed to get back on my bike. Now I probably ride my bike 60 kilometers a week, I would say. So I can exercise a lot less now because I am eating such a more balanced diet. I'm not smashing in so many calories and I'm not overloading my body with all this work. And I don't need to excessively exercise to lose weight. It's just very a balanced thing. Like, I just exercise as much as I want to. Like, some days I'll ride my bike 10K, some days I'll ride it 20K. And I really enjoy biking and I enjoy doing that. And that's why I do it. And I'm taking my dogs for longer walks, and it's just, I'm becoming more active. So now I'm finding that I'm hungrier and I can eat more calories. So just listen to what feels good for you and just do what feels right and what you're motivated to do, because then you're going to stick to it and you're going to be able to do this and you're going to be able to get the weight off, and it's not going to even feel like you have tried or dieted at all. And you're going to look at yourself in the mirror one day and you're going to be like, when did that happen? Because it, like, when it happens, you know, so naturally, it's amazing, because it's like your body is finally working the way that it's supposed to. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about was my rate of weight loss, because people say a lot of times like, yo, you're losing weight too fast, you're calorie restricting, blah, 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 blah. So over the course of 6 months, I lost 40 pounds. It was about 1.5 pounds a week. And that's very, very slow. I mean, it's in the recommended healthy range that they say that you should lose weight to keep it off forever and to, you know, be able to maintain it for the rest of your life. So don't weigh yourself. In the last 6 months, I weighed myself literally 3 times. And that was only just to see where I was at and how, you know, I was doing. And every time that I did it, it was just kind of like, I wish I wouldn't have done it. Because it doesn't really matter. I went from a size 16 to a 6. Like, my weight does not matter to me at all. It's really just a number on the scale, and I used to be so obsessed with weighing myself, and it's just a total mind game, because you become obsessed with this number and that you have to fit into like this certain category and this mold, and you weigh yourself every single morning and like, I haven't lost weight, and it's discouraging when you haven't, or when you're losing, you know, 1 pound a week. It's like, is this ever gonna happen? But you do that every week and you're consistent and it's easy and it's something that you can stick to, and 52 weeks later you've lost 52 pounds or, you know, 60 pounds or whatever. So my entire message throughout this whole thing is just do what feels right for you. Eat as many calories as you want. Eat whole plant foods, and you're not going to screw up. You're not going to fall off the wagon. You're going to be less prone to binging, because you're giving your body all the vitamins and minerals that it needs from those whole plant foods that Mother Nature provides for us. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all your questions. Like I said, I will be getting to them. I love you guys so much for your support over, you know, the last 1.5 years. You guys have literally seen me go through everything of gaining 40 pounds, losing 40 pounds, and it's just like, I honestly feel like my entire journey is just starting. It's so amazing, and I'm so glad that I've been able to share it with you guys. So give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more like this. If you have any other questions for videos, leave them in the comments below. And also, if you want some great whole foods, plant-based recipes that are from scratch, that are totally healthy, check out my ebook. The link is below. And I will see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye. For dinner today, I'm just having a salad. So I have my greens all chopped up here. And then I made this like